Well, I want to welcome you all to another Monday with Michelle. I am extremely excited about today's topic. I actually want to thank Joanne for recommending something like this, and thank you, Joanne. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to walk you through the 12-step cheat sheet that will actually really help organize your days so that you have more energy and get your results quicker, faster, while you have fun doing it. This is all based on a lot of my training, which is traditional Chinese medicine and ancestral wisdom. And also now coupling this with Ayurvedic. So there's a lot of wisdom here. So what I'm wondering is if you can see my screen. I'm sure you would be able to. Just one sec. Were you able to see my screen? Okay, yeah, okay, good. Getting used to this here. Okay. Getting better. Okay, so basically what I'm going to walk you through from start to finish, an actual cheat sheet that I've created that will help you navigate your days so that you're doing things that count. And I highly recommend you print this off and put it in a place that you could, keep your eye on so that you stay on track. Now, to get started, I want to set the stage with an actual framework that I created myself. A lot of this is actually what I created. And I distilled all these bits of information over the past 20 years and more into one easy cheat sheet that I believe will help you get fit and healthy. And the framework that I use is always this: clean, heal, and seal. When you follow that framework and that strategy, you will always get better because you're constantly cleaning out the residue that you've been holding on to. Then you move into healing the body and holistically, and then you seal it in so that you are able to hang on to this vitality and energy for the rest of the years that you're going to be here, which will be longer and more optimal. So using this framework, we're going to start each day fresh by cleansing. Then we're going to eat and move in a way that's healing. Then we're going to seal the experience of your day with reflection. So let's start with number one, start each day cleansing. I'm going to scroll up. And basically what we're going to do is we're going to cleanse all of our orifices. So that means our mouth, our nose, our eyes, and our bowels. So we're going to be cognizant of those areas and start the day cleansing them. So here's how we do that. So first thing in the morning, cold water, splash the face. So you're cleansing your face, and cold water is very refreshing. Then what you want to do is you want to clean the nostrils so that you have good respiratory, good breathing. So what we're going to do is we're going to close one nostril, start with the left, and we're going to grab our palm with cold water, and we're just going to squirt, inhale in a little bit of cold water, and then snort it out. And then you close the right nostril, you grab a palm of cold water, and you snort in cold water just a little bit, and then you snort it out. 1 or 2 times, and then what you'll do is just splash your face again, and then blow your nose. I've done this. You're not going to drown. It's really refreshing, and you'll be able to breathe better. So then what you'll do is you'll wipe the residue. If you have any residue in your eyes, you'll wipe that either with a cotton towel or something that's clean. So you're wiping your eyes. And then ideally you want to think about having a proper bowel movement first thing in the morning. So just be cognizant of that if you haven't, if you're not able to at that moment, but just in the morning, you want to get a good solid bowel movement. So that's the morning. Then what you're going to want to do is think about having a 1 liter of water towards your required amount of water for the day. So you're going to want to have 1 liter for every 50 pounds of body weight. So if you're 200 pounds, you're 4 liters of water a day. You're going to want to measure this so that you do, that you accomplish it. So I use the big bottles. I love this bottle because the way that it's so easy to drink out of, and I actually drink more water with these kinds of bottles than something that is difficult to drink out of. So this is really easy to drink out of. So I got these at Costco. I like white because it's clean. And this is the time that you're going to take your morning vitamins that are away from food. So I'm just going to stop the share, and I just want to make sure that, can you guys see when I scroll down? Mike? Okay, good. I just want to double check because last time for some reason it wasn't working. Okay, good. So what I'm going to do is show you my basket because the protocols that I provide for you do cover your bases. And while it may be, you know, more than you're used to, it covers your bases so that you actually get your result. Otherwise you'll spin your wheels and not get the result that you want just because you haven't taken what you need. So I'm going to show you what I take. So this is my basket. And I don't know if you can see it, but it has a number of vitamins that I take away from food. So many of these are for the morning. There'll be maybe 1 or 2 during the day, and then the rest will be in the evening away from food. So I keep the stuff separate. You got to make it easy. Then what I recommend you do is light a beeswax candle. We don't want soy. We want beeswax is clean. Soy doesn't burn clean. So you want beeswax. And when you do these sorts of things, it's like you're bringing in the sunrise and the light into your day. And so it just really sets the stage for a peaceful, even high performance, but a calming, peaceful day. Then what we're going to want to do is you've lit the candle, you've had some water, you're going to oil pull. And what I've since learned studying more Ayurvedic principles is we want sesame oil and not coconut oil. It does have a better effect with cleansing the mouth cavity and supporting good microbiome in the mouth. That is one of a lot of people don't talk enough about that, practitioners, where actually that's the root of many causes of illness. One would be cardiovascular, because we hold these microbes between our teeth. And if our mouth isn't healthy, they tend to travel into places you don't want and can affect the cardiovascular system in a negative way. So we're going to want to, just spend 4 to 5 minutes, maybe 20, but 4 to 5 minutes just swishing sesame oil around your mouth without swallowing it, and then spit it out into, we don't want to spit it in the toilet. We need to spit it into a trash can because it could plug up the toilet. And that's something you're going to want to think about doing. Also, sesame oil has been shown to whiten teeth more than coconut oil. And so that's another benefit to it. So what you're doing then essentially is you are cleaning the cavity, but not cleaning it like sterilizing it, like you're getting rid of the good bacteria. In fact, the good bacteria thrive in this environment, but the pathogenic bacteria, they die off. And so that's what the benefit of this is. I practice this every day. I was doing coconut oil. I'm going to switch to sesame oil. And you need about maybe a teaspoon. Okay, so now that you've done that, then what we're going to do is we're going to brush our teeth, and we're not going to use fluoride toothpaste. We need to find toothpaste that doesn't have fluoride. Fluoride with chlorine and bromine is what down regulates the thyroid. So those three in combination. So the fluoride we get from toothpaste or dental work, the chlorine we get from tap water, and the bromine we get from breads. They typically use it in breads, or I think hot tubs, bromine. So we don't want those, and we don't want to be exposed to those. So we want to eliminate them, and we brush our teeth every day. So we want to make sure it's no fluoride. So we're going to brush our teeth with that, and then we're going to rinse it, and then we're going to tongue scrape. So studying Ayurvedic principles, they don't like plastic tongue scrapers. And so mine's plastic. We're going to want to switch it to what they recommend is a metal, like a copper they recommend. So I'm going to switch mine to, once I find one, to a copper. I have a plastic, but it's better than nothing. This they recommend highly, because so often we have these bacteria that like to sit on our tongue. And for one thing, it does cause what we call halitosis, which is bad breath, which we don't want. The other thing is it doesn't allow for, when you do eat your foods, to actually taste the foods, because you're not allowing the receptors to be open to the flavors, because it blunts it. And again, the bacteria are sitting there that we need to, the bad bacteria that we need to scrape off. Those that have candida or too much yeast will have too much white on their tongue. So it's also a self-examination in the morning. If it's white, your digestion is suffering. And so it's a good indication to really pay attention to that and start to take steps to support your digestion, which means get those bowels moving. And so it's a good way to do that. So ideally by now you would have had a good bowel movement. We're going to go outside, and we're going to now that we've cleansed our body, we're now going to use our senses that we've cleansed to enhance them in Mother Nature. And so we're going to go outside, we're going to go barefoot. So we're going to touch the earth with our feet. And this is very, very powerful, because you actually are connecting directly to Mother Earth. And Mother Earth is supporting you on your journey with health. And she's going to give you free, what we call electrons from the earth, and they will enter your body. And these electrons are going to enter into your cell, talk to the mitochondria, which is the ancient bacteria that make your energy, and it will enhance more of them and enhance the ability for you to make more energy by just getting free electrons, because the mitochondria are what use electrons to create energy. So you're getting free energy just by standing on the ground. The other thing you're doing is you're getting rid of inflammation. You're actually downloading it into the earth, and the earth knows what to do with it. So you're doing two things, and it's very, very powerful. So when you're outside and you're putting your feet on Mother Earth, you also want to pay attention to is find where the sun is rising. So you look directly into where the sun is rising, and you'll sun gaze. And so sun gazing is, the first 15 minutes is safe. As the sun is rising, you actually want to look directly into that sun as it's rising. It gives you these powerful frequencies, photons, that then enter your eye, that talk to the pineal gland and your suprachiasmatic nucleus. That's this part of your brain that it triggers for it to spin faster. What that means is every single cell in your body has its own clock. And when you get your clock spinning in the right amount and the right direction, then you have a healthy hormone balance. And it starts with this frequency, which this clock, the suprachiasmatic nucleus is actually the leader of all the clocks in the body. And it needs to get the signal that it's morning for then when it runs faster, it talks to all the other cells in the body to tell it what time of day it is. Basically, you're an environmental sensor. Your body knows what time of day it is. It knows what the environment's doing. And you know what it does is it starts to create the right hormones. It starts to create the right microbes in the body and these chemical reactions because it knows what time of day it is. And that's how the body gets healthy. So we're going to strive, because I'm going to give you some guidelines, for 15 minutes of going barefoot per week. I know it's a low amount, but it's a start. I'm going outside barefoot as much as possible. In fact, I'll bring my office work on the grass, and I will do my office work outside, sitting on the grass and work. So you'll get a better sleep and you will definitely feel better. Just try it. In the morning, we're going to want to set your daily intention as well. And so it's really about how do you want the day to go? How do you want to show up? What's the main message for the day? So for me today, just say mine is be a great leader, because I have a new program I'm launching tonight at 6 p.m. Slim, Strong, and Sexy. And I'm going to lead these women through a 12-week transformation that it will change their life forever. And so I need to be a good leader for that. So I saw myself being that strong, confident leader. And I also saw myself being a strong, confident leader to share this information to you. And the message I got was, it came back to me that these Mondays with Michelle is really a school of health. And I really believe that it's much more than just a diet. This is actually whole body health. And what I'm sharing is what I'm learning. And it fixes mind, body, spirit. It supports all three in so many different ways that when you just take a few tips that I offer and practice it, it does move you to health. And it's a school because it's a journey and there's a lot to learn, but it's fun doing it. So I really believe that I'm actually creating a school of health. That message came to me today, and I truly believe that. I'd love some feedback if you feel the same way. So now what we're going to do is we've already done the brushing teeth. So I'm going to switch that up when I send this to you. Anyways, now what we're going to do is we're going to come inside and we're going to enjoy our freshly French pressed coffee, organic, or green tea. So you want to have a warm beverage in the morning, one that you like. I love my organic French press coffee. I found one in the health food store, and it's got a frog on it, and it covers all the check marks. So it's single origin, it's organic and fair trade, it's free of all these chemicals. So, and it tastes unbelievably delicious. And when it enters when I drink it and it enters my body, it gives me, I feel really good on it. So I have a lot of long-term energy for the day. So I know it's sitting well with my biochemistry. And so I thought I would love to show you a picture. I'll have to do that, but it's a really good one that just came out. Green tea must be organic, otherwise it's high in heavy metals. And whatever, maybe it's a bone broth. And so that would be also a good selection. I'll put that on here when I send this to you. That's a good idea. Then what we're going to do is, this may seem like it's taking a long time to do all these. It's actually not. When you get used to it, it's very short. It's not very long. So then what we're going to do is I highly recommend everybody, if they haven't started, we need to really start journaling, because you're putting your thoughts on paper and it's making it a reality. This is where growth happens, is when you can actually create your own best life, but you need to think about, what do you want? What are you doing now? What's not working? What do you want to work? And then watch the magic happen. But really, anybody who's not journaling, I think they're missing a big piece. So I highly recommend you get the High Performance Planner by Brendon Burchard or the Perfect Day Formula by Craig Ballantyne. They're both really, really good. So then you're going to plan your perfect day and schedule it in. And then from there, I highly, highly recommend you switch gears and go and move. Movement is medicine. Exercise is medicine. You need to get stronger. Your body is your vessel, is your vehicle. It needs strength. And we need to strength train 2 days a week or 3. Apart from that, we're hiking in nature. We're walking. We are doing mobility work. Maybe you're doing a class, but you've got your weekly routine that you've got set. Ideally, I'd like to see, most people find better results and getting it done in the morning if you can. Even if it's 20 minutes, that's enough. So we've talked about the cleansing. Now we're going to actually move into the healing with nutrition. And we're going to talk a little bit more about exercise. So when you eat, we're going to want to pay attention to only eating when you're truly hungry. This you're going to need to be mindful of, because there'll be times when you'll be sitting with a partner and they're eating, but you're not hungry, or you'll be out at a gathering, you're not hungry, but they're all eating, or you feel down and you feel like you need to eat. Those aren't really the best times to eat, because your vehicle isn't ready for anything like that. That would be a time that you could have a beverage, like whatever beverage that is, but it wouldn't be a time to actually eat. Eating is for nourishment. So when you're truly hungry, we're going to eat. And I want you to prioritize protein. And what you're going to want to do is, a good guideline is 1 gram of protein per pound of ideal body weight. So if you're 200 pounds, then, and your ideal weight, say 150 pounds, you're 150 grams of protein per day. And you're going to want to divide that between the meals that you're having that day. So for me, it would be 50 grams of protein for your first meal, 50 grams your second meal, and 50 grams as your third meal. That's super easy. We're going to want to add plants to that, but I want you to think about protein. Protein seems to be the missing mark with most individuals looking to be fit and healthy. There are too many carbs. After you have your first meal, then you're going to want to kind of move around a little bit. And there's 2 reasons for that. First of all, it's going to support digestion after you've eaten. And second of all, it's going to balance blood sugar. Those 2 are really, really important for anybody who wants to be fit and healthy for life. So the walking outside is a really good idea, or whatever you want to do for movement. If you do walk outside, I do recommend no glasses, sunglasses, because again, you're not allowing the photons to actually do the work to balance the hormones. You're cutting that off. So a good guideline is 20 minutes. Unless you've done an hour in the morning already, a good guideline after your first meal is 20 minutes. Then what you'll do is you're going to schedule in your work. Maybe it's your hobby, but it's the work time. This is when you need to have high performance. You've set up the day for high performance. So you're actually going to work smarter than harder now. If you follow this, your brain will turn on. You'll be so much more creative, and you'll be calm. Okay, instead of frenetic. And you'll be able to tap into information by following this than you ever have before. And it comes from within. So you're going to schedule blocks of time. I learned this high performance block time by a couple mentors. One would be Craig Ballantyne. I have another one. I can't remember his name because I haven't followed him for a while, but it's 90 minutes on and 20 minutes off. So 90 minutes of straight deep work. So focus on one thing that you need to get done that's going to move the dial. All right. Or something that you're trying to put off that you haven't done. That's the first thing you want to think about doing that day. And you want to schedule in 90 minutes straight, because if you get distracted, it's going to take you longer, and then you're working harder than smarter. So 90 minutes, look at the clock. Then you're going to do a 20-minute off, even a 10 or 15, but you take a bit of a break from what you were doing. And so it could be going out for a walk. It could be doing some push-ups. It could be hanging from a bar and just stretching. It could be mobility work, but something that's it could be something to eat. I don't know, but it's going to take you away from what you were doing. And then when you come back, you'll be more refreshed and you'll actually be able to work smarter again. So you could do 60-minute intervals. If you do, it's a shorter break, and just block these times for deep work. Craig talks about singularity days, which is pick days that have themes to them. So for me, I have group coaching on Monday. And I have my Wellness Wednesday on Wellness Wednesday with Michelle on Wednesday. So I have theme days. I have Friday catch up. So every day has its own theme, and that's the singularity. You'll be way more effective if you do something like that. I know I have. So I'm very happy about that. And I keep working on my skill set. So then what we'll do is after your work time, you're going to want to, eat again when you're hungry. And again, prioritize protein. Quite often we get very busy in the day and we leave it too long to eat. And then we're starving and we eat the wrong thing. So plan ahead. So for me, for lunch, what I'll typically do is I don't want to spend a lot of time eating because I want to work. So I want to eat easy to digest protein. And because I start the day with, you can see it here. Here's my first meal. I ate a lot last night, so I'm just eating this soon because I ate late. It's my smoothie, 3-ingredient smoothie. My lunch or my next meal will always usually be eggs, and because they're easy to digest, and I'll have like 2, maybe 3, maybe 2 with just a few vegetables that weren't eaten from last night's dinner. That's my always go-to. I don't think about it. That's what I'm having. Or I'll have my cottage cheese pancakes because they're so delicious and they're already pre-made. I just pull them out of the fridge and I just kind of warm them up on the stove, maybe 10 minutes, they're ready. So I don't want to spend a lot of time thinking about lunch. I want to work, but I want to nourish my body. So that's what I do. And then again, after, you don't want to sit after you eat. You want to walk or move or do some kind of movement for just a bit of time for what? Digestion and for blood sugar balance. So then you go back to work. And again, you think about the blocks of time that I've discussed earlier. So those are the steps. I'm going to give you 3 bonus ones right now. The evening routine is after you eat, when you have your dinner, that's when you add more starchy below the ground vegetables. Just think about grounding earth vegetables below the ground. Why? You're going to have a great sleep. It's going to help you lay on your bed and feel grounded and have a deep restorative sleep. It's going to slow you down, which is what you want as your dinner. So we're having our protein, we're having our starchy vegetables. And not only that, this is the rest and digest time. This is the time to start to wind down, but you have to trigger the body with your environment to do that so that it will have a restful sleep. So again, this is just what I do. I light my next beeswax candle. It's always on the table, or I have the boys light it because it's the start of dinner. And I'll play my ambient music, which will be like a spa or something really calming. The lights start to lower. Again, you're getting ready for a wind down and you're setting the mood for rest and digest, because it's what you eat, but it's what you absorb. And this assists in absorption and assists in that deep sleep. These are important tips here. The other thing we do is we have a phone bed. So there's no phones at the table. Because if you do, you're distracting and you're not really present with your family members, and there's connection isn't there, and there's that missing void that you'll feel. I don't feel connected. Well, put the phone away. It means that you're important to me, because if you have the phone, that says that that's important. But no, your family's important, and you want to show that to them. So the phone goes to bed, and then you can connect. And a good way to start a conversation is you ask the question, what was the best part of your day? and you go around the table and everyone answers. And what I love about that question is it sets the stage for happy, positive talk. You don't want negative talk at the table. It's the time, because you won't digest your foods. You'll be in stress. We are switching the gears to rest and digest. And so that's what that question does. And it's really helped me when I raised the boys. I learned this like decades ago. Well, they're 20, no, almost 20 and 15. Well, almost 16. Holy. Yeah, 20 and 16. Wow. I learned this maybe more than 10 years ago, and I always, it's my back pocket. It's what I use. If this conversation starts to go negative, just gently curb it and course correct it to a positive. Just you be the, I suggest you be the leader, and practice that. Okay. Lastly, we're going to seal the day with reflection and personal growth. So you're going to end the day cleaning up, maybe doing a walk outside. I'm actually seeing a lot of people walking in the neighborhood after dinner now. And you're going to really just reflect on your day. What went well? Pat yourself on the back. Don't forget that part, because you need to celebrate the wins. That's where the confidence comes in, because you need to know that you can do it and look back at what you've done. So you pat yourself on the back with what you've done, and then look to see what could have gone better. And I do this every single day. And that's how you grow as a person. And that's how you look yourself in the mirror and say, wow, like I'm really making a positive impact. And I feel really good about myself. I actually really love myself. And you're going to start to prioritize sleep, because your work is done, because you've had a high performance day. You're working smarter than harder. And if there's things that you haven't finished, write them on a sheet and put them away. At least it's on a sheet and it's not in your head, so it's not going to give you that mind chatter. And then you're going to think about those blue light blocking glasses. It's mandatory. Everybody needs these to be healthy. And you're going to want to put these on 1 to 2 hours before bed, so that you can still have proper hormone balance in the body. Remember the suprachiasmatic nucleus. And you're able to then release that melatonin that you work so hard to make during the day by going outside. And you're going to lower cortisol so that you're not wired and tired. You are actually ready for sleep. That's how you burn fat when you sleep, and build muscle and balance hormones and build bones. And clear away the residue in the brain, because it's through the lymphatic system. Your brain detoxifies. So if you have a hard time with mental clarity, we've got to really protect that sleep. Okay. Really good for long-term and short-term memory. So you'll remember the things if you're in class as well. Then what you do is, I use lavender. I'm added that to my ritual. I put lavender on my bed. It seems to really work. And the other thing I'm doing now that I've learned is I'm actually taking melatonin at night, because what I've learned, so I take some melatonin, and it's going to give me what my body needs, what my body doesn't make enough of. And because as you age and you're reaching the 40, 50 mark, we need to do some extra things to be youthful and have energy. And one of those is adding melatonin. And what the research is showing is, he's a PhD who came up with this, is it doesn't blunt your own production. It enhances what you don't make. And that is one of the most important hormones, melatonin, to stave off any type of infection, because it supports immune system. It also helps with that deep sleep, so that you can wake up refreshed. And it's one of your most important anti-aging hormones. So I'm all over that. And I am now experimenting. I've started mine last week. Every night I'll take a bit of melatonin, and it does work. And actually I feel amazing. Probably best I've felt in a really long time. That is the end of my sharing. and I'm going to stop the screen, and I am going to open up the lines for any questions. So I'll unmute you guys. We can just have a nice conversation like we're in a room. So does anybody have any questions on the cheat sheet daily routine that I created that supports daily rhythms using traditional Chinese medicine and ancestral wisdom? Yes.
What
Mike.
I'm seeing there is that there's a lot of things that I do almost automatically, but when you put it down this way, then it's in an orderly fashion, and that's something I do need is more of a structure to things, and that this is quite an easy way to follow things. I know you're talking about grounding, and that we did try the grounding in the snow here because we did have a pretty good snowstorm here a week ago, and yeah, that's quite intriguing that how that worked, and there is a definite connection and definite good feeling out of that that does take place. So going out, we're outside in the grass there now. That's going to be an easy thing to do.
You started out difficult and now it's going to get easier. Can you share a little bit of how you felt when you actually did go outside barefoot in the snow? Because I have a photo of that I have authorization and permission to post it, because a picture says everything. It actually makes you feel a certain way. And I really want to help more people realize the benefits of natural health and natural ways of living, so that they can optimize their health instead of grabbing all these pills that they don't need. So please share, how did you feel when you did that?
Silly to start with.
That's good. That's a youthful thing.
Yeah, and then it was that first step is kind of the one that takes your breath there for a second or two. That the cold, it wasn't numbing, but it was it kind of gave a sensation that kind of went right up the legs, and it wasn't painful, but it was kind of a soothing thing at the same time. As I walked around, my feet kind of they actually did start to numb a bit, but then that stopped. And it was just it was a real cold, all right, but it wasn't something that was a painful cold. Once I'd walked around for a while and then came out, what really surprised me was just walking up onto the cement. And no, there should have been a wet footprint there, and that there wasn't. My feet were dry, and I don't know how that works, but I was quite amazed by it and thought that's way too weird, that. But it was good. Once started walking around and back in the house again, then the feeling in the legs were really good. There was my knees usually ache, and there was no aching, and that was virtually gone, and so it was good. And I thought, well, my feet are going to be cold forever, and a lot of times my feet are cold or colder, cooler, and it actually turned into a warming sensation, as if there's a better blood flow and warmer feet, and that's something I really enjoyed. So it was definitely a good experience, that's for sure, and we did it every day while the snow was here. So yeah, that was really good. Really enjoyed it.
Mike, that was thank you so much for sharing. I'm just wondering anecdotally why your feet weren't wet when you walked up the stairs. I'm wondering if your body really soaked up that hydration, because when you're outside and you're putting your feet in the snow, it's actually called structured water, and because it's not the water from the tap, it's structured. What that means is your body recognizes it and it absorbs into your in the cell, intracellular. And there's this PhD Jared Pollack that wrote a book called The Fourth Phase of Water. And so when you drink structured water or expose yourself to structured water like you did in the snow, then it changes the structure in the cell for it to be compatible to all the organelles in there for them to actually work better and more functionally. And that's where the healing starts, is in the cell, because of the structured water. So I'm wondering if the body soaked it up and did that, just wondering. It may, but for you to have that profound effect, for you to go outside in the snow, put your feet in there, and for you to get rid of your knee pain, that's no pills. You didn't take a pill, you didn't take a supplement, you didn't take medication, you walked outside.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Yeah, like my knees and everything else, it felt altogether different. And it was a strong, very strong feeling. The dry feet thing, like both Joanne and I looked at each other, well, what's going on here? You should have wet feet. And it worked that way for both of us. But no, the profound feeling was that that ache that's predominant there wasn't there at all. And the whole experience, the body felt different too. It just felt like refreshing and ready to go, like an energizing feeling as far as I'm concerned. That's the way I felt.
You felt electric, likely.
Yeah.
That's so good. Thank you for sharing. That's really good. That's really good.
Yeah.
Do I have permission, I'm just curious, to share that little story along with your photo?
Oh, sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're okay with that?
Yeah, you bet.
Okay, good. Trying to help more people. So thank you, Mike. Anyone else have a question? Oh, Mike, the other Mike, yes.
Well, I got a question about blue blockers, but this I also got some. I've been using this toothpaste. You probably can't. This is probably backwards, right? When you show it.
I can still silica. Okay.
Yeah, I get it at London Drugs. It's fluoride free, extracts of mint, chamomile, and calendula.
Yeah.
Tastes good and it's fluoride free.
Does it have any artificial ingredients? If you look at any chemicals like dyes?
No, not that I saw. It's made in Germany.
Oh, good. That's a good sign.
Yeah, it's got herb extracts. It's hard to tell.
Just wondering ingredients, because we want to get away from like the marketing, they'll try and sell you how healthy it is. Like it's, for example, 60% organic, when really you look at the label and there's not much in there, or they'll try and lie to you on the label. So I love to see, we really know when we see the ingredients. And that's good that you brought that up. Yeah, we don't want fluoride.
I got my magnifying glass.
Yeah, I know.
Hydrated silica, sorbitol, propylene glycol.
Oh,
Are we already in a bad spot?
yeah, we don't want that now.
Okay.
Yeah,
well, I'm
that
glad
one,
I brought that up because
that one's a return. That one's a return. Go to, yeah, I would return that. You're putting that in your body. That propylene glycol is actually, if you look at ewg.org, it'll tell you that over time that leads to cancer, because the body, it's actually inflaming the body, and you're putting that in your body every day. So thank you for sharing that. I should do a talk on body care, clean body care. Anyways, ewg.org. So it'll give you the list of the healthy toothpaste, and they're the watchdogs. They're the ones, they're the efficacious ones. So just go there, and they have a subsection called Skin Deep, and just punch in even the name of your toothpaste. It'll tell you how carcinogenic it is. It'll give you a rating. And then you can also look at recommended toothpaste. So for me, I only get the Genestra Unda ones, which is Homea Fresh. That's the only one that I have. I'm really careful with my toothpaste, but yeah, no, that's good that you shared that. So
Yeah,
let's return that. Let's return that.
So the other question is about blue blockers.
Mm-hmm.
And my wife was going to Costco the other day, so she picked up some computer readers,
Mhm,
Foster grants.
mhm.
However, so ideal for use with smartphones, computers, tablets. What I noticed on the back though was patented lens coating technology blocks approximately 30% of potentially harmful blue light. Is that enough of a percent?
I wouldn't trust that, just saying, unless someone can share that it actually, the before and after and how it really does work. The ones that I recommend my clients look at are blue blockers or raw optics, or the ones that I have, which are called Spectrum. These are the elite glasses. You can order them either with prescription or not. These are my blue blockers for the early morning or the late night, because I don't want that blue light. The blue light you want at 12 o'clock during the day, because that's when the blue light is strongest from the sun. And so you want to mimic the sun as much as possible. So what I'm going to do still, I haven't done it yet, but I will. It's on my list. I'm going to get some daytime glasses for when I'm on the computer, because I noticed that the computer, it's emitting these rays that are actually destroying my retina, and I'm not able to see close up anymore at all. And so I've hit the tipping point. So now what I need to do is read what my body is saying and get glasses to protect them. And then I need to do some eye exercises to be able to strengthen the cones and the rods in my ocular and my eyes to get them strong, while I also take my my supplements, which is, I'm really liking I really like this one, Ultra Preventative Vision. The formula is really very complete. From the research that I've seen, I love this formula for the eyes, but I also add in Ocugen. So those two I'm doing for my eyes, for internal, and then external, I'll get the blue light, the computer glasses. So that's what I'm going to do, and then do the exercises, because I've always been the one who has had great eyesight, and my whole family hasn't. And I've been raving about how great it was. Well, now mine's suffering, so I have to pay attention and read my body. So you've got the names of the blue light blocking glasses that I recommend, because they do show definitively. Plus, they're recommended by high-level experts that wouldn't put their name on the line if these glasses weren't effective. So, yeah.
Okay, so you can buy them. Can you buy blue blockers without going online, or do you?
No, you have to buy those online, because it's, yeah. And I can put the links, I'll make a note to put the links of those websites, how to buy them.
Okay.
You can actually, they help you in the right shape as well. They're kind of fashionable. So whatever shape you want, you can order. And there's a money back guarantee. Like if they're not right, then you just return them, they'll give you your money back.
Okay.
Yeah. I wouldn't mess around with blue light blocking glasses. I would get the ones that are shown to work, because a lot don't work.
Well, if you could send that website or websites.
Yeah, I will. I'm
Thank
going
you.
to do that. Yeah. I'm going to do that. I love that question. That's good. See, when you guys ask questions, other people learn too. It's really awesome.
The eye exercises, that I can send you a note on afterwards about that, because I'm quite interested in that.
Yes, there's a certain technique that works that I've been taught by Dr. Ross Anderson. He told me to follow one guy, and I trust him. So yes, let's do that.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. Well, I hope you've enjoyed today's Monday with Michelle. And do you kind of feel it's a school of health?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
For sure.
That's what it feels like. It feels like this is just a school of health. Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to send the video recording and the PDF with those few adjustments. And I'll send you the links to the blue light blocking glasses and the eye exercises.
Okay. Sounds
Okay,
good.
and have a fantastic rest of the day. And let's keep in mind that grounding.
You bet.
Thank you.
Okay, see you. See you.